Hi, Drew and Andy. Congratulations on 100 episodes. Jalen and I are so proud of you, Drew, and we're so thankful for all that you do for our city. Love you.
Hey, what's up, Casselberry? Congratulations on your anniversary. You guys rock. I love you guys, and I'm so proud of you, Andy and Drew and Robin. You're fabulous. Thanks so much.
And now, celebrating 100 years of the...
No. It's not 100 years.
Oh, okay, well, my bad. And now, celebrating 100 minutes of the...
No, come on, man. You're getting it all wrong. Here, do it again.
Okay, I got it. Celebrating Andy's 100th birthday.
Try it again.
Celebrating Drew's 100th dad joke of the day. Celebrating Robin's $100 raise.
You know what? I've had enough. Let me just do this. And now, Casselberry celebrating the 100th episode of the What's Up Casselberry podcast. Here they are once again, your hosts, Andy and Drew.
Oh, and don't forget that lovely producer, Robin, that deserves that $100 raise.
What's up, podcast listeners? Those fireworks indicate it's episode number 100
Yes!
of the What's Up Casselberry podcast. Woohoo!
We made it. You know, they said it wouldn't last past the first 2-minute trailer. Well, I did. But here we are. 100 episodes in. That's over 50 hours of podcasting delight that we have been able to deliver to our listeners, Drew.
That's right, Andy. Listener, we hope that you have enjoyed all previous 100 episodes. If you haven't, you can find them on our What's Up Casselberry podcast feed. Let me introduce myself. I'm Drew Taylor. My co-host, Andy Searles. And our producer is Robin Koeppe.
Robin, was that you booing me?
Oh, yeah, Robin. That was rude.
Yes.
Robin, it's a new year, new start.
Old habits die hard.
If you cannot tell, we are friends. We love to have fun together. Each and every Tuesday, we have conversations about all things Casselberry, Florida centric. And we're glad that you have found this little podcast that could. As we said, we're celebrating episode 100 here. It is the final episode of the year 2021. 2021 has come and gone, but one thing remains: this faithful podcast, churning out great content, dad jokes, news, etc. We're all things Casselberry here. My lovely co-host and producer, how are you, friends? What's going on with you? We just celebrated Christmas. Are you feeling the vibes of the Christmas spirit?
Robin, I think he's talking to you when he said lovely. He doesn't use that adjective very often in describing me.
I do not.
Christmas was great. It's like it didn't even happen.
I feel like we all have the kind of glazed over, like post-holiday or after you've eaten a big meal and just kind of feel. That's sort of where we're at.
It's almost like Christmas comes with tryptophan, right?
Uh-huh. That's right. Andy, what are you excited about as we wrap up the year and just are looking forward to the new year? Any just initial thoughts of 2022?
I'm looking forward to 2022. I tend to be a perpetual optimist, so fully expectant that 2022 will be better than 2021. Honestly, probably evaluating 2021 a little bit disappointed. 2020 was so hard and I was expecting this huge, yes, we're back, but it felt like a stuttering start. But 2022, full of hope, full of excitement, full of opportunity. Let's go grab it.
Absolutely. I love it. And I'm going to go ahead and be the initial trendsetter, as I always am, as you guys know. And I feel like we could just...
Yes, we do. We look at your wardrobe and we think trendsetter.
I threw that in there, see if that would fly. Give yourselves...
It didn't get off the ground.
Listeners, give yourselves the peace sign, the double peace. That's going to be our 2022. You get the little logo. We're looking at each other via Zoom. Obviously, this is an audio podcast. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm giving the double deuces for 22. So there you go.
Is that a thing?
I'm making it a thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm a trendsetter. I'm making it a thing.
Let me ask Robin. Robin, is that what the cool cats are going to do in 2022?
No.
Okay.
And they're definitely not going to call it double deuces. That's just
double.
How about double peace out?
No.
Okay.
We're trying.
Hey guys, congratulations on 100 episodes. Yay! Oh yeah, Dad, this is Bethany, your child.
Congratulations on the 100th episode, Dad and Drew. Great job going this far.
Drew, just before you jump in.
Yeah, sure.
Did we include dad jokes in our first episodes, or was this a thing that evolved in the podcast?
It definitely evolved. This was an ongoing. We needed to up our game, so to speak. So as we go to 2022, we probably need to add something else or update something else. But no, this was not an original part of the dad jokes.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. So, but some weeks we do 2 or 3 dad jokes. So I think we can say with all integrity and legitimacy that we have provided hundreds of seconds worth of dad joke fun for people.
We have, indeed. Yep, we have, for whatever that's worth. That's usually the time where the listener hits the 30-second skip, but don't do that, listener.
That's right. We should actually speak really slow because people are listening on double time to this. Today's dad joke.
That was a good dad joke right there. I love it. All right, I've got, I know Christmas is past, but I pulled up a few Christmas-related dad jokes off the interwebs here for your listening pleasure.
Robin, do they say interwebs in 2022, or is that like resigned to 2006?
We'll allow it.
All right.
I made it under the gun. All right, here we go. Dad joke of the week. Number 1, listener, what material is the best Christmas sweater made from? Feliz Navidad. It's made from Feliz Navidad. I'm going to read the second one that I have the answer for on our script here. What does Santa suffer from when he gets stuck in the chimney? Santa, when he gets stuck in the chimney, sometimes, hopefully that doesn't happen or hasn't happened, Santa, but if he gets stuck, he suffers from claustrophobia. All right, here's our third one. I saved this special for producer Robin. We love all things Beyonce on this podcast. Who is Santa's favorite female pop star? Her name is Beyonce.
That's a good
Beyonce.
That's a good one on many levels.
Beyonce. Well done.
Thank you, producer.
Well done. All right, well, those are Christmas jokes. But as you know, Drew, we're facing the new year. So let me give you a couple of New Year's jokes. You ready?
New year, same dad jokes, same bad ones. Yep, here we go.
You know what my New Year's resolution is?
No, what is it?
1080p. That's a tech joke.
That's a tech joke. Yeah, Robin got that one.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people eat pizza on New Year's Eve. Well, Tracie, my New Year's Eve date, she stole a piece of my heart this New Year. Okay.
Aw, that's sweet.
I love that you're laughing before.
I know. I'm normally the one who redeems this section, but I think I'm pulling it down.
How the turntables.
Yes, how the turntables.
How the turntables. All right. Let me see. What do you say to a cow on December 31st?
What?
Happy Moo Year.
That's so stupid. I love it.
It's not funny. Oh, man.
Okay, but no, seriously, one more, just to try and redeem myself.
Okay, here we go.
Did you hear about the guy who started fixing breakfast at midnight on December 31st?
No.
He was making a New Year's toast.
There you have it.
Tell Doug he needs to up it a little.
No, that wasn't Doug. That was all me. I can't blame Doug for that.
Excellent. All right, let's shift gears here because our listeners come in for our hard-hitting news content in addition to our excellent and cheesy dad jokes. This is worth celebrating. We're on episode 100, last episode of 2021. We need to go out with a bang. We are excited. We've been covering this news item for a while. That's the Deer Run golf course. That's kind of an unincorporated Casselberry, unincorporated Seminole County, has been, it went up for sale. There was some discussion. We've had Dr. Deborah Bauer come on and talk about saving the golf course and keeping it a park or a public green space, not having developers build upon it. And that was approved a while back. We reported that. But just recently, as of December 15th, the Deer Run golf course, or formerly the Deer Run golf course, along with the Koeppe Golf Club in Seminole County, have both been purchased by Seminole County. So our county now owns those two properties, and they were purchased for a combined $13.7 million, or just over that, following the Seminole County Board's approval. And the Koeppe Golf Club is going to stay a golf course, Andy, while the Deer Run golf course is going to be a public green space, a public park. Now, as one, I know you love to walk around, even when it was a golf course. You love to traverse
Don't tell him. Actually, maybe I can confess that now. It's not theirs anymore. What are they going to do?
You can confess. Yep.
Producer note, you have said this many times on here. That's how we all know that. So.
Okay. All right.
It is public domain. Yep. It's not.
But I'm still a free man. I haven't been arrested yet. So that's
Casselberry's worst kept secret. Andy walks the golf course, formerly known as Deer Run. But Andy, tell us how, now that you can legally walk the green space there, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for Casselberry and Deer Run residents?
Well, first of all, Drew, I think it's very important that we say thank you for your very kind donation of $12 million to help that purchase go through. I mean, that, you are a giver to our community. So
I have been, indirectly. Some taxpayer money is going to be required. That is the fine print of the article to keep the grass mowed and keep that space up to date. So yes, taxpayers, you are going to be benefiting. So use that space because you're going to be paying for it.
Yeah. There's a whole lot I love about this story. I mean, first of all, and I think primarily, I love that it's going to be green space still. Green space is so important. And once you lose it, you just can't get it back. And so the fact that our county and our residents have made a decision to keep it that way guarantees so much moving forward to the quality of our life and protection of the environment and those kind of things. So I love that. I love that this happened because there was a community of people who said, we want this. And the voice of the people was heard. And they organized well, they rallied well, they committed themselves to the project, and they got it done. I love that. And I love as well the other side of that coin, that our Seminole County commissioners were listening as well. And they didn't do necessarily what was in the best financial interests for them, but they made a decision based on the best quality of life for our citizens. And so I love that it's green space. I love how it was accomplished. And I'm really looking forward to having another park nearby that we can enjoy. And let's not forget, Drew, this is in addition to the $21 million that the residents of Casselberry decided to invest in Casselberry parks as well. So I just think we are developing our footprint as a city, as a place to be able to work and live, but also to play as well. So kudos to all involved. When that contract was signed, that was a significant day in the life of our community. And thank you to everyone who worked, petitioned, and made that happen.
Yes, absolutely. We are definitely gaining the reputation as a city for having some of literally the best quality parks all around Seminole County. So we're very excited, and it's going to be a blessing for future generations. We'll be back with more from our 100th episode after a quick break.
Hey, Drew and Andy, it's Doug at Christian Help. On behalf of all of the team, congratulations on your 100th episode of What's Up, Casselberry.
Our podcast partner is Kelly Financial Solutions. If you're looking for a mortgage solution that will truly work for you, then look no further than Kelly Financial Solutions. They offer home loan options that you won't find anywhere else, not even at the big bank down the street. A mortgage is a huge decision, and it's critical that you get the right terms that truly work for you. Kelly Financial Solutions team has more than a decade of mortgage experience, and we combine this knowledge with national partnerships, amazing service to deliver one-of-a-kind mortgage options with the lowest rates possible. Travis Kelly has been a supporter of this podcast and is the Chamber of Commerce president in Casselberry. Travis Kelly is a supporter of this podcast and has become a dear friend of Andy and I. I'd love it if you gave Travis a call. You can connect with him and the Kelly Financial Solutions team at 407-618-1176. That's 407-618-1176. Thank you, Kelly Financial Solutions.
Welcome back, listeners, to our favorite part of the show. Normally, because we get to hear from some other folks who are smarter, wiser, more involved, better looking than Drew is. But today, in honor of our... Yeah, they're not better looking than you, Robin. That's right. Thank you. But today, in honor of our 100th episode, we thought we would put ourselves on the spot and talk about some of the things that we've learned, some of the ways that we've grown, some of the things that we've done this year, and and just to celebrate the past year before we look to the next year. So on this interview section, fully participating is our producer, Robin. Welcome back, Robin.
Hi.
And my co-host, Drew Taylor. Drew, are you ready for some hard-hitting interview questions and some deep dialogue?
I am. I'm sorry, listener, if you were expecting a great podcast guest like we normally have, you're stuck with us. But keep listening.
I'm here.
She is well worth one day, maybe episode 200, we'll do a deep dive on all things Robin Koeppe.
I'm already ready for that.
Keep that as a future.
So I think on that episode, Drew, one of the first questions I will ask is, Robin, what's going on in your psyche that you cut out the part from last episode about wanting to meet some firemen?
I'm playing hard to get.
All right. So ready for the hard-hitting interview. Drew, let me start with you. Looking back over 2021, what have you read that has impacted you?
Yeah, that's a great question. Been thinking a lot about just culture and, what is going on in the place where we live. What are some of the pressing points that need to be addressed and looked at, and both at the government level, at the individual level, at our church level, community. And Bill Hufford, I'm going to give a shameless plug, Bill Hufford, who has been a multiple time guest on our podcast. You can go find him in our archive, but he was a former city commissioner in Casselberry. He's very much a mentor, I believe, to both you and I. And he wrote a book, just a little 90-page book on transforming culture, identifying culture from a biblical worldview, but just from kind of a human point of view, and sort of identifying, hey, what are the issues out there? What are some common ground things that people can, as humans, can come alongside in? And it helps address some of the big questions with some answers and some looks at culture as a whole. So that was super helpful to me. What about you, Andy? I know you're an avid reader, so it's probably hard to narrow down one.
I am. Obviously, we're listening to this on the Tuesday before New Year. And one of the things I do is I tally my books. And it's been quite a list this year. So it's hard to pick one because my reading is so diverse and it's been pretty regular. But as we're talking about reading, though, one of the little ways that I reflect this past year is that when I was in high school and middle school equivalent in England, and it was a very different system that I grew up in, my English teachers really were always on my back for never reading enough. And, you'd be so much smarter, they said, if you keep reading. Just find this discipline because you're not doing it. And I really struggled with reading. I don't think I had a reading disability per se, but it was just something that was so incredibly hard for me to focus on and get through. But by the new year, I will have completed reading 59 books this year. And I want to go back to my English teacher and say, hey, told you. But I also want to say, hey, you are right, because I have grown so much through that. Someone once told me that leaders are readers, and man, have I seen the value in that this year. So I don't even know if I'm going to try and beat my tally next year because I surprised myself. But man, you got to read. You got to keep reading. Right, Robin, what have you read that's impressed you this last year?
Lots of things on Google. I haven't read it. Well, I'm sure I read a book somewhere in this year, but lately I've just I've taken a lot of projects and new jobs that I don't actually know what I'm doing. So I've had to Google a lot of things, and in Googling, you end up in rabbit holes of reading things related or not related to what you were looking for.
I love that. I love that.
So it sounds like you're doing, like you said, special projects and kind of deep diving on different stuff. Well, that's a good segue then to, in addition to reading, Andy, you got that in my head now. We also are obviously an audio podcast, and I know we listen to and re-listen with cringing a little bit on occasion to our own What's Up Casselberry podcast. But is there anything that you've just enjoyed listening to, whether it's music or podcast or TED Talk or something that just you just enjoyed as you think back on the year that was?
Well, when you say watch, that expands it. I do listen to a number of different podcasts. Most of them are soccer related and specifically niche to British soccer fans who grew up around the time I did. Of course, listen to the What's Up Casselberry. I listen to some ministry leadership teaching podcasts as well. In terms of what I'm watching, when I was in England a few weeks ago, my dad introduced me to this mini series documentary, True Crimes, and they did a series on called Impeachment about Clinton's transgressions with Monica Lewinsky. And it has been fascinating to rewatch history there and just see the ugliness on every side around that. But it's really been a very good documentary drama, and I've enjoyed that, and I am increasingly getting into docudramas more and more.
Nice. Where is that located? Because that does sound interesting.
I am watching it on Amazon Prime, but I think it's on several other places as well, depending on what streaming services you have.
Fantastic. I'll jump in, and then maybe we'll get producer Robin's answer. I have shamelessly, you know this, listener, that we love all things The Office on this podcast. And so there are a couple different podcasts out there, The Office Ladies, Deep Dive with Brian Bumgardner, but the one I actually prefer the most is a fan-led Office podcast called the Michael Scott Podcast Company, and it's three guys from Oregon, and they are absolutely hilarious. They put in little drops and with quotes. They dig into fan theories, and just it's a lot of fun. It does really a full 360 view of all things The Office. I even shamelessly, I'll admit it, I called in and gave like a question for them to discuss because I just found their podcast really fascinating, and you can find it on the podcast feeds there. With that, I want to maybe I'm going to throw it to Robin. Robin, I want to hear what you've listened or watched this year, but also in light of our love for The Office, is there a favorite quote or scene that you've recently found or enjoyed, or an episode you've rewatched of The Office? So we'll throw that as the next part.
Well, my all-time favorite Office scene is when Jim is having his interview in New York about whatever position, Jan's position, I guess. And Pam's just like, yeah, it never worked out, the timing, blah, blah. But then it cuts to him being like, are you free for dinner tonight? And it's a date. That's like, it doesn't matter how many times I watch it. That's the best scene ever. Justice is served.
Do you envision yourself in that scene with Fireman, Robin?
Yes, I'm going to cut this too.
We got her now. We got her flustered.
We do.
You two for telling dad jokes. You really got the embarrassing the daughter part down. Like you guys you've nailed this. Okay.
That's funny.
Okay.
That's funny.
And now for the original questions answered that I needed time to think about. I will say, like, I can't name like one particular thing that, but I've been open to listening to more new things. Like if someone like some of the stuff you just suggest in TED Talks, I'm like, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to make a point to not only to get knowledge on what people I care about are into, but also there's a lot of times when someone's like, oh, this song, this artist that has like one follower on Spotify is really good, you know? Like, so I've just been making a point to consume new artists, information, content.
Can I just pick up on something Robin said there, which I thought was really significant? She said she doesn't just listen for herself. She listens to new things so she can connect more with her friends and be into what they're into. And Robin, let me just affirm, I know we tease you, but that is a beautiful statement, right? And that is the essence of relationships, that you're saying, you know, my life isn't about me and how much I can consume and get, but I really want to be involved in other people's lives and help them and serve them. So I'm going to do some things that are a little bit different, perhaps even a little uncomfortable, so I can learn about them. And entering into one another's worlds is so important in the relationships we share, and therefore in the community that we build as well. So let me just give a shout out for you doing that, Robin. That's awesome and admirable. And I might make that one of my New Year's resolutions.
If you use this in a sermon, I get credit.
That was good. Andy, what about you, man? What give us a fun little Office quick tidbit.
I will say The Office is my go-to default, have in the background, laugh out loud. I love that my kids are into it. In fact, as we're recording, Johnathan is still asleep because there's no school, but he is a master at Office Koeppe, and he just pulls out these random things from nowhere and just has us in stitches. What's my favorite episode? I'm not sure. I really like the cringe ones. So things like Scott's Tarts. I mean, everybody hates it, but there's something you can't watch it.
I can't watch it.
There's something in me, and honestly, maybe because I've been in these moments in real life so often, when things get really, really awkward, the only way sometimes I know how to deal with them is by humor. So to see that played out was somehow in a weird way therapeutic on me.
Yeah.
Because, we've been in those awkward moments where it's just so tense. No one knows what to do. No one knows what to say. And, as a pastor and a chaplain, I've been there a lot, Drew, I'm sure you have. And it's just like, okay, let's lighten this up. Let's put it on the table, how cringeworthy this is, and walk through it.
Yeah, that's actually, that's really well said. And I think sometimes, humor really is the only thing we laugh so we don't cry. And that's definitely been.
That statement is how Robin describes your dad joke of the week section too. She laughs so she doesn't cry.
That is not true.
Well, hey, let's bring this back to the podcast a little bit. Let's talk about just where we are, where we've been, and where we hope to go. How two of you would love to hear your thoughts. Just how have we seen as we assess really almost 2 full years of this podcast, which is really truly hard to believe. How have we seen our little podcast grow and maybe some things we've learned along the way?
Let me answer that in kind of 3 ways. I think, first of all, our goal, our mission, our vision has always been to bring our community together, right? To use this as a platform where different folks from different walks of life who are doing great, significant things in our community can have a voice so that others in our community can hear them. We started because we identified a problem. The problem was that there are lots of great things happening in our community, but people didn't know about it. And so the first way that our podcast has grown that I see is that that's happening. It's amazing. And I know you experience the same thing, that someone will come up to you and they'll reference something that we said on the podcast, or they'll know about something happening in our community because they listened. And that's really significant because that tells us that we're fulfilling our mission. Secondly is, I think another sign of our growth is that people are coming to us with guests rather than us chasing guests down. You remember in the early days, we were like, cashing in all kinds of favors to get people to come on the show. Now we have people reaching out to us and saying, hey, this would be a great guest for you, or I'd like to promote this, or, can you give some space to talk about this because this is important to our community. And it's community leaders and voices that are doing this. And so I love that we've kind of growing past having to beg for guests, but people are coming to us and saying, hey, I'd like to be on the show. That's really good. And how have I grown? I think one of the things I love, and I think we get better at this almost every week, is I love our interaction and our interchange between the 3 of us. And, not to turn this into a little Hallmark movie /podcast, but I genuinely
love cue the music.
I genuinely love you guys and the friendship that we share, and it's real. And so, again, there's something that speaks well to the podcast as we're saying to our community, come together, build relationships, learn to love each other, learn to laugh with each other. We're modeling that among the 3 of us. And I think that's really cool. We're not encouraging other people to do something we're not doing. And so I'm grateful for you guys.
Yeah, let me jump in on that, Andy. Very well said. And as usual, you give some real wise insight and thorough answers. Just the thought of the fact that we have spent literally time out of our week every single week for almost 2 years is, just a testament to, we enjoy each other, but friendship and real a sense of community doesn't just happen overnight. It doesn't happen at one event or quickly. It happens through the development of spending time, of mutual effort, and even what Robin said earlier about learning from one another. And, I think that's just a good kind of attitude to have in regards to our life, is to be open-minded, not necessarily, changing who you are as a person, but being willing to engage and listen and hear from somebody who is different from you, especially somebody in your very own community, on your very own street. As far as for me, I've just been blown away with the diversity of guests that we've had on this podcast. Just meeting all kinds of interesting people. I think of the lady that created the pet oxygen masks and purchased those for the fire department. I mean, that is a story we'd have never in a million years heard of, much less had a conversation with. And then some just great leaders in our community. It's been a very humbling experience. And when I think about 2022 and beyond, Robin knows this, Andy, you know this as well. I despite the fact that we joke a lot, we do desire to be, quote, professional podcast. We really want to improve the quality, make this an enjoyable experience for our listeners. But with that being said, I definitely want to continue continue just the organic nature of our conversations. We don't want this to be too polished or too business or news-like. We love to have fun and love to be ourselves. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next year. It's going to be great. All right, let's wrap this up with before we get too sentimental and tear up too much. let me give a couple just rapid fire closing questions here. All right, so give me one thing you're thankful for, Robin, as we think about the end of 2021. One thing you're thankful for from this past year.
We made it to another one.
We made it to the end of the year. Very good. Andy, what about you?
I am thankful for my kids. I have seen in both of them this year just incredible growth, incredible maturity. I've seen them learning to take responsibility, even though that's often fraught with mistakes. And I am just super proud of them.
Yeah. And that's speaking of, as we go to a new year, 2022 is the year your oldest graduates from high school, which is really special. Speaking of getting Andy choking up over here.
What about you, Drew? Do you want to answer that one? Or
Sure. I'm definitely very thankful for my wife and my son, family. We've really gotten close this year, and we've kind of navigated a lot of stuff personally and professionally in my life and my role, and they've been just such cheerleaders and just a true joy. I literally love coming home every single day to spend time with them.
Well, Drew, thanks for leading us through this conversation. It is good to reflect, because reflection forms the foundation for the future that we want to build. And so, listener, as we all reflect, we want to say thank you to you. We're grateful that you listen, grateful that you're engaged, grateful that you play your part in this community that we call Casselberry.
Excellent, Andy. And I will go ahead and read our inspirational quote as we close out episode 100 of our podcast. Each week we do a quote, and this comes from another country singer, not Garth Brooks, but Brad Paisley. And it's this regarding the new year. Tomorrow is the first blank page of a 365-page book. So write a good one. 365 days, 2022 is upon us. And now's a new opportunity, a new chance, a new start. This really is the time where people make New Year's resolutions. Maybe that's you, maybe that's not. But would encourage you, as Andy just said, reflect on what has been and look forward with expectation for what is. Tomorrow is the first blank page of the next year. For you, that may be making new relationship decisions. Maybe that's a new pursuit in a career. Maybe it's just simply mending fences, things that you know you need to fix and go back and spend more time on. Whatever it is, our encouragement, our challenge would be to take a step tomorrow and make a plan today in order that in the tomorrow you would move forward to writing that new book for the year 2022. Thank you, Brad Paisley.
And thank you, Drew, and thank you, Robin, for being on this journey together. 100 episodes. That really is an accomplishment, and we celebrate that. But we know it wouldn't be possible without our listeners who've given up their time, given up their minutes running and walking and driving to listen to us and some of our nonsense. But hopefully, we've also added value to our community and to your involvement in it. So, listener, thank you. Our podcast is produced, as you've heard, by the lovely Robin. For more information on our podcast, please check out our website, which is also run by Robin. No surprise there. Facebook page, Instagram, podcast feed, all that have the name What's Up Casselberry. It would do us a favor. It would bless us if you would like and subscribe to our podcast, and it would make us ecstatic if you rated and reviewed us, and we would be filled with joy if you would share it with some of your friends. Until next year, have a great week.